I'm Rich Board. I'm with J. Par Maryland Living, and I'm here with Todd Howard of TR Howard Consulting Services. Todd,
Pleasure.
glad
Rich,
you came.
appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Could you let us all know a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So I do insurance claims for roof, siding, contracting work. So I do inspections to see if there's enough wind, hail damage, or issues going on with the roof that would warrant a claim through an insurance company, through the customer's homeowner's insurance. If full approval, then the insurance company covers the entire roof as far as a full roof replacement or siding, windows as well.
Okay.
So I'm independent. I work with several different general contractors, of course, who are all licensed, bonded, insured. All the credentials you need to work with the insurance companies.
Yeah.
And also handle any other home improvement needs as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, an insurance claim, if you will. Okay. But of course, if there's enough issues again going on, then obviously it behooves the customer to go through insurance and have it covered through them. If it's not a claim or they don't get approved, then of course we can just furnish an estimate. And I shop around, if you will, between general contractors to hopefully give them the most competitive pricing, but also bring quality of work.
Yeah, you take care of all the headache.
Yeah.
So kind of touching on the roofs and that with with spring coming and the storms, we just had a huge wind storm.
Right, big weather event Saturday. Yeah, bunch of wind and hail.
What should people be looking for? Because most homeowners don't look at their roof.
Sure. Right.
Day.
Yeah. Right.
So what signs, or maybe as far as regular roof maintenance, should people be looking for?
Glad you asked, because obviously most of the time you can't see wind or hail damage, unless you're up on the roof and looking, very closely. So of course that's what I do is to jump up there to see, what's going on, and if there is wind or hail. The signs that would be pretty there for obvious, right? Would be an interior leaking, obviously. So if you have any interior leaking going on, but from the ground looking up at the roof. Any missing shingles, that's something you can see from the ground. Any loose shingles. So if you notice shingles flapping, you get a bunch of wind and you can hear the shingles, flapping up on the roof. Of course, obviously, then those shingles are going to have wind creases in them. From what happens is on an older roof. The transfer matting is the sticky part where it keeps the shingles down. That hardens over time. And then the shingles are loose and then they'll flap in the wind. And then that flap creates the either wind crease shingles or they'll actually rip off. So of course, if you're finding shingles in your yard, that's an indicator. Exactly.
Okay. So is there any kind of regular maintenance somebody should do, maybe kind of in the spring, maybe get up in the attic, look for water or
just to pay attention to the signs, as far as, if a lot of people, customers say they can hear water leaking into the attic. Right. So, that's obviously, need to, inspect that. Yeah. But as far as, maintenance, not really much to do physically to the roof, but just pay attention to any of the signs, anything going on. It doesn't matter the age of the roof per se. A lot of customers feel that the insurance company won't cover an older aged roof. Right. They'll say my roof's 20 years old. I don't see how an insurance company would cover a 20-year-old roof. Right. But as long as there's enough wind or hail damage going on, they'll cover it. Okay. There's a depreciation, if you will, and they'll depreciate a little for age. Right. But most of the time, a full approval will be covering the entire roof, taking the roof all the way down to your plywood, We inspect the plywood. If there's any issues, any rotting or soft spots, what have you, we replace the sections needed. And then, of course, we use a full synthetic underlayment, which is no longer like the tar paper that holds moisture and humidity. So all upgraded materials, if you will, for a full roofing system, if you will. So a drip edge, ice water barrier. A lot of older roofs don't even have drip edge or ice water barrier because it wasn't code back in the day. Now, with a full approval, the insurance company has to approve like drip edge, ice water barrier, vented ridge cap, because that's all now code. So.
Interesting.
Yep.
So, so basically, if you're in the market to get a new roof, should you always try to go through insurance first, like to see what would be covered? Isn't that like
a matter of having a professional come do an inspection for you, just to confirm whether you have, issues going on that would warrant a claim, just, as far as not wasting time for yourself as a customer or with the insurance company. But I always tell customers, if it's an older roof and you've got some issues going on, why not try to go through insurance first? Worst case is the adjuster comes out, doesn't give you the approval. No harm, no foul. It doesn't hurt your insurance rating or premiums, if you will, to put a claim in. And if it's not approved, then we can just go ahead and give you an estimate. I'll shop general contractors for the customer to find the most competitive estimate, but also for the quality of work, and making sure, again, that the contractor's licensed, bonded, and insured, all the credentials that, the insurance company and or the customer would expect.
Right. Okay. Now, say insurance doesn't cover the claim. Do you have financing options for clients?
Depending on the general contractor that we choose between myself and the customer. I have a couple that don't have financing options, but there's all we can find that. It's just a matter of shopping general contractors.
Excellent.
Yeah. And if a customer has a relationship with a contractor that they want to use, then that's okay too. Since I'm independent. Yep.
Okay.
Also, just to bring up too, there's no fee, if you will, for I'm asked a lot through the customer. Oh, if you're a consultant, you're not the contractor. Is there a fee for your service as far as facilitating the claim, meeting the insurance adjuster, negotiating with the adjuster, on behalf of the customer, what have you? I don't have a specific fee, that it goes to the customer for that. I get paid through the general contractor that's hired. So that way, when the work is completed, customer satisfied, then the contractor pays me a commission, if you will.
Okay. So now we talked about the roofs, and you did mention earlier there's home improvement. Let's start there.
Okay.
I jumped up in my head.
We also do home improvements other than the roofs. Go ahead.
We talked about the roofs and that. Now you also mentioned you do home improvements and other items. So if you want to touch in on those subjects.
And the fact that I work with several different general contractors, it's just a matter of working with the customer, figuring out the scope of work, whatever they're trying to whatever they want to accomplish or get handled. I work with, figuring out what contractor would be the best to handle X. So of course, bathroom, kitchen renovations, remodeling, decks, porches, pretty much anything under the home improvement scope, if you will. Yep.
So if anybody's wondering, because I think everybody wonders about cost. especially with like a home improvement. I think roofs you can kind of get an idea, but
Mhm.
but for home improvements, is there kind of a general square footage price that you should prepare yourself for?
It's a good question. What I've learned by doing this is that most general contractors and insurance companies all use the same estimating programs.
Okay.
So there's a few out there, but there's the main ones, couple. I see that 90% of the general contractors and insurance companies all work with the same estimating programs that, creates all estimates being pretty close,
Right.
if you will. I mean, you'll always run into a contractor that's way off the scope, either
Right.
way high or way low for their reasons, and you really should be careful of that.
Yeah.
If you have obviously a estimate comes back way high, well, most customers, naturally are going to want to shop that. But if you have somebody coming in, way low,
Yeah.
be skeptical on that, because then, you don't want to risk quality of work
Right.
and or licenses, the credentials,
Right.
for somebody being professional, working on your home,
Right.
you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you run into any problems? You don't have to name names, but any kind of specifics that.
Well, I constantly have contractors trying to underbid,
Yeah.
and I'm just blunt with the customer to say, look, it's your decision, but if somebody's coming in that low,
Right.
there's issues behind that,
Okay.
So.
And what would that marker be, like 10% under, 20% under? That you
Again,
start to question.
Again, if you're getting several different estimates,
Mhm.
you're going to find that most of them are, again, pretty close
Yeah.
within, but again, you're always getting one that's just way out there one way or another, if you're really out there shopping.
So how many estimates do you get for your clients before you all make a choice?
It's up to the customer.
Okay.
If the customer's fine with, me furnishing our estimate
Mhm.
and they give us the go ahead, great. If the customer's asking for different estimates to compare, I'll tell them, by all means, you can go,
Right.
shop different general contractors and, line up estimates for yourself on top of me for you.
Right.
So, and I'll give them 2 or 3.
Right.
If they want more than that, then it's a discussion, and
Okay.
which I'm fine to
Yeah.
furnish more, but most of the time, 2 to 3, 3 estimates are
I guess you
usually
general.
suffices,
Okay.
Or,
That was all great information. Hopefully, everyone, has learned something about roofs and home improvement. Is there a way anybody can reach out to you if they're in the need of a roof or home improvements or have questions?
Sure. So, of course, all my information is below there. So if you are looking to have an inspection completed on your roof or concerning any other home improvement need you might have, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'll reach right back to you, and we can schedule an inspection or schedule a time to meet and talk about any of your home improvement needs.